Anarcho-capitalism is frankly an economic idea that has no basis in reality whatsoever. And frankly, I don't think I really have to tell you that, which is why actual capitalists doing capitalism laugh at it. Now, some of you might remember this was a really big thing in the 2010s in the West. I mean, there were Mises Institute people, by that I mean viewers, not the actual Mises Institute itself, just absolutely everywhere spouting. That's not real capitalism at just about everything. Since then, a lot of that has really died down. They were really obnoxious people who screamed that everything was socialism, even children getting food to eat. Now, as many of you probably know, Argentina elected Javier Milei, who is an anarcho-capitalist and is the president of Argentina right now. And he largely got elected over dissatisfaction with the previous president, Sergio Massa. There was a great deal of long-term stagnation in the country. There was a 40% poverty rate and 124% inflation rate. So when the elections came around and he came in acting like a political outsider, basically doing like a kind of a Trump thing, promising absolutely the world if you just do the anarcho-capitalism. Basically, he won with 55.7% of the runoff vote. So, and he won 21 out of 24 provinces. So that's pretty significant. And his acting like a buffoon attracted those who were fed up with, so-called elitist politics. In other words, it's kind of the same thing that Trump did. I'm not one of the elite, massive billionaire, but not one of the elite. And then promised to change everything, and then kind of didn't actually follow through on that, unless you count crashing the country as changing things. Now, what did he promise? He promised the elimination of Argentina and government subsidies, the dollarization of the economy, the privatization of healthcare and education systems, deregulation of gun possession, the creation of a marketplace for human organs, and all but denied the human rights violations of the military government of the 1970s. So what he really did do was crash the economy. He eliminated the fiscal deficit, which amounted to about 5% of the GDP, but destroyed social programs and everything the poor needed, essentially robbing the public of everything. The currency hit the bottom band, which required a shoring up of the peso, so the dollar crashed and they needed to borrow money in order to get the peso back up, which is why he agreed to a $20 billion deal with the International Monetary Fund in April. He destroyed the unemployment rate. The poverty rate was near 60% for the first half of 2024. Now, he is basically the absolute king of borrowing money. That's kind of the big thing with anarcho-capitalism. It's not with the big banks, it's not with the elitist system. Yet this guy now made Argentina the largest debtor to the IMF, not just right now, but in the entire history of the IMF. A total of $56.83 billion is owed to the International Monetary Fund. And that, of course, comes with the shock doctrine of deregulating everything, handing over everything in your country to the American NATO allied powers. But the total debt now owed by Argentina, and that was the big thing. They were going to get rid of the debt by cutting all of the services, and have now taken on $305 billion of debt from different countries and institutions. Well, so much for cutting everything for the sake of getting out of debt, right? And dealing with a budget deficit, right? Because nothing says anarcho-capitalism or I'm a real capitalist like burying your country in debt to a level that has never been seen before. A true sign of anarcho-capitalism, wouldn't you say? Well, I guess take that, socialists. We'll show you by burying our country in foreign debt. And this is supposed to be a better alternative to anything? The point here is to look at the utter dismal failure that is anarcho-capitalism. It was basically a meme idea pushed by few people in the elite, which were just looking to deregulate things in order to make it better for business. The Koch brothers were big funders of the Mises Institute and other organizations like that. I'm pretty sure it was the Mises Institute that they were funding, along with some other organizations as well. And all of that just to get rid of regulation so they could pollute the damn planet and make money. But as an actual consolidated ideology, anarcho-capitalism is laughable. It is an ideology that has accomplished absolutely nothing ever. And anytime anything close to it has ever been implemented, it has destroyed countries. Like absolutely destroyed them. It's laughable that anybody would even believe in it. But that's exactly what Argentina is facing right now. Absolute devastation at the hands of an ideology that can only pass for a meme.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.